Welcome back. Thank you for coming back. Happy Arvo! Today we've got a fun video. Weird, obscure laws that still exist in Australia. Yeah, I love stuff like this. Like, oh, you combed your hair to the right on a Tuesday. You're coming with us. That's a federal crime. From 1432 in this here county. Yeah, this kind of stuff is interesting. Let's see what we got still going on in Australia.
Have you ever paid for something with all the loose change in your wallet?
Maybe like a gumball.
What if you wanted to pay for some milk and bread with $10 worth of 50-cent coins? Doesn't sound...
You guys have 50-cent coins? Okay, I need to look up something about your guys' currency. I mean, we do have 50-cent coins. They're just super rare.
Too bad,
here in
right?
America.
Well, you could be refused service. It's happened before, and it turns out it's completely legal.
Counting coins on the counter of the 7-Eleven from
dumb.
6:15 till 7:15.
There's an obscure section in the Australian Currency Act 1965.
It says coins aren't legal tender if they exceed 20 cents where 1 and or 2 cent coins are offered, and these can still be used. $5 if any combination of 5, 10, 20 and or 50-cent coins are offered, or 10 times the face value of the coin if $1 or $2 coins are offered.
But all of this...
You guys have $2 coins? That's a dumb law when it comes to $2 coins. Like, those are pretty high up there in value, you know? I mean, if you're paying for something with 20, you just need 10 for a $20 item. That's dumb.
Is up to the merchant. If they're happy to accept the coins, then no problem.
What merchant would be like, get out! Don't ever come back to my store. We don't want your money here, those coins.
Back to the milk and bread. So if you
Now, it is annoying when you're behind somebody who's paying for a bunch, but that really doesn't happen much anymore.
If they're happy to accept the coins, then no problem. Back to the milk and bread. So if you did want to use those 50-cent coins, the maximum amount you could go up to would be $5 before someone could refuse to accept. So what if you're trying to pay for that $3.50 cup of coffee with a $100 note?
Well, the Reserve Bank of
Is that
Australia
illegal too?
says Australian banknotes and coins do not necessarily have to be used in transactions, and refusal to accept payment in legal tender banknotes and coins is not unlawful. Only...
Now, there are places here in America where if your bill is too large, they won't accept it, and I guess that's legal. But it's just because of, like, they're afraid that it's counterfeit.
2 coins, the Holy Dollar and Dump coin, have had their legal tender status removed. So technically, you...
Dump
Dollar
coin?
and Dump coin have had
What's that worth?
their legal tender status removed. So technically, you could use pennies and shillings and other pre-decimal...
Your pennies look just like ours, but with a kangaroo. That's cool.
Moved. So technically, you could use pennies and shillings and other
How many different coins do you guys have? We just have like pennies, nickels, dimes, quarters. That's about all you see. That's about it. There are some obscure ones, but dang, you guys got shillings and dump coins.
decimal coins if you wanted, although
I mean, I've just seen like 10 different coins.
they're probably worth more as collector items.
In come the dollars and in come the cents to replace the pounds and the shillings and the pence.
There are plenty of other obscure laws in Australia which you've probably never heard of,
Definitely.
but are 100% legit.
This is for the Commonwealth of Australia.
And this is for the United States of America.
In 2017, Victoria introduced specific legislation banning mooning, aka exposing
Well, yeah. I would hope that's a freaking law. Doesn't that go without saying? Like, does that specifically need to be a law? I'm sure there's some kind of indecency law, some kind of public nudity.
your bare rear end. First-time offenders face up to 2 months in jail. Victoria also says you can't fly a kite to the annoyance of any person in a public place.
That's oddly specific. Who's getting annoyed by a kite? Like someone trying to tan? You're flying the kite right in the sun. Who gets annoyed by a kite? They're silent and pleasant. What kind of freaking Karen? You can't fly that kite because it's annoying me.
We all know about noise restrictions in residential areas, but Victoria's pretty specific about it. It's an offence to make unreasonable noise with a vacuum cleaner, amongst other items, after 10 p.m. or before 7
A vacuum cleaner in your own house? Nobody can hear that.
a.m. on weekdays and 9 a.m. on weekends.
And you can't drive a dog or goat harnessed or attached to a vehicle in a public place, just in case you were considering doing that.
I did see a lady doing that here in America. That was the most American thing I've ever seen. Her walking her dog, like out the window. Just driving by in a car. Pathetic. So she won't be going to Australia, or they'll send her back.
Up until a couple of years ago, it was illegal to have more than 50 kilograms of potatoes in Western Australia. Also in the West, you could spend a year in jail if you try and clean up seabird or bat poo without a license.
If you tried to clean it up? If you tried to clean up poop what if it was on you? You can't clean that up, huh? You need to go get someone with a license to clean that off you. Huh. They didn't think that through.
And clean up seabird or bat poo without a license.
Maybe there's more to it.
And don't even think about challenging someone to a duel in WA or Tasmania.
I challenge you to a
I wouldn't. Someone from Tasmania? Tasmania? I feel like people in Tasmania must be... I wouldn't challenge them to a duel. That's just a very intimidating town name.
That could cost you
And all I know about it is like the Tasmanian devil.
$6,000 or 2 years behind bars. While many
Just to
of
challenge them? What if it was a friendly challenge? Like, hey, do you want a duel? Hey, I challenge you to a duel. No.
these laws seem ridiculous now, it's just not possible for governments to comb through every single offence that exists, and reviewing them often isn't high on the priority list.
It's not possible to comb through every law. I think that is a problem in and of itself at some point. I think Elon Musk was talking about that. How there needs to be like the law should just expire if they don't vote to keep it a law, you know? That kind of makes sense. Some garbage collection of the laws.
Punishments unlikely.
There are plenty of other lesser-known rules that are actively enforced today.
Drivers in New South Wales can be fined up to $2,200 for not taking enough care to avoid splashing mud on public bus passengers.
Hey, I call that fair dinkin. I think that's a fair dinkin law. That should be a law. You should not be splashing mud on people. It's never happened to me, but if it did, I would want to prosecute. That's fair dinkin. I don't know what fair dinkin means, by the way.
Nationwide, you can't take your dog for a walk or run while riding a bike. And using
that's no
offensive
fun.
language in a public place is a criminal offence. That can go for slogans too. A couple of years ago, a Brisbane man was fined for moving a fridge on a train. It's not the only oversized item Queenslanders have tried to move on public transport, and anything that doesn't fit on luggage racks or under seats is a no-no. And ever heard of...
Come on, give the dude a break. If you're going through the trouble to get a whole fridge down there into the train station and on the train, and you don't break anything in the process, hey, I think you deserve it.
Squatters' rights? Well, it's an actual thing. You can apply for ownership of a property if you can prove you've lived there for 12 to 15 years, depending on the state, without the permission of the owner. A few months ago, the New South Wales Supreme...
That's insane. That doesn't make any sense. Some dude's up in my freaking attic hiding, living there for 15 years. He comes out and he's like, guess what? This is mine. This is my house now.
Without the permission of the owner. A few months ago, the New South Wales Supreme Court granted ownership of a house in Sydney's inner west to a property developer. 20 years earlier, he found the empty home and has been renting it out ever since.
Well played, sir.
But don't believe
Hey, that is
everything
well
you read
played.
on the internet.
Don't hate the player, hate the game.
There are some popular but unverifiable claims that it's illegal to
Unverifiable. Couldn't you verify it? Like, couldn't you look it up? I don't know. You can't even verify whether it's fake?
wear hot pink pants after midday on Sunday in Victoria, and that you can't dress up as Batman or Robin in Australia.
Our job is finished.
Thanks for watching. Please like, share and
Why Batman and Robin?
subscribe, and let us know about any weird or
Those were fascinating, I will say. I know we have some crazy freaking laws here too in the States, like you can't chain up a crocodile to a fire hydrant. Stuff like that. But yeah, that was fun, guys. Hey, look over here. These are some videos I'm going to be watching. So if you want to see any of those, subscribe. And thank you for watching. I appreciate it. That's what it's all about, guys. Have a great dinkin. And a fantastic Arvo. And I hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye.